Well, if you enjoyed the first round of the Rich Pasapenko mini show, you're going to be delighted with round 2 here because he is going to induct our next inductee, Daniel Revivo, and he'll be introduced by Rich Pasapenko. Come on, Gap.
It's big time being an adult presenter, but where's Collegiate at? Let's set something straight. I'm not your daddy. Tommy and Susan aren't your parents anymore. That job went to Jackie when you got married, all right? It's a little honor for me to introduce Daniel Revivo. Vivo was the most decorated player in the history of Winthrop soccer. He was a goal scorer from Canada, and he made an immediate impact from day one. He was the face of our program during the 4 years he was here, basically because he was a goal scorer, but he brought a lot of attention to the program with that pretty face of his. Along with Farah Farmer, Saidi Isaac, they made up one of the top scoring duos in Big South history. But is Spence still here? To throw Spence a little bone, when he was at Radford, he's not taking enough credit for this because he owned us for a couple of years. He had a kid named Dante Washington and Ian Spoon and Blue were the two best goal scorers ever in the history of the Big South. Down that helped us to 3 conference championship games, winning Turbin. He helped us to a 54-20-9 record during his 4 years. He also helped us to 2 regular season championships, 2 NCAA tournament appearances. As pretty as he was a tough player. He got beat up by our loud defenders. He only or never missed a game in his final 3 years. He missed 3 his freshman year, and some of those were not for injury, period. Like Viva also had a good work ethic, helped elevate all aspects of the program. Now, this is a guy who had no issues with academics, with soccer, or social. That I'd get a call like every couple weeks, and it would be Mrs. Revivo. And she'd go, "Coach, how you doing? This is Judy Revivo. How's Daniel doing?" And I go, "Same answer. Daniel's doing great." I couldn't really tell her what route was going on because she had a much different opinion of her little boy Daniel. To say the least, Vivo enjoyed the full college experience when he was here. We had a lot of talent when Daniel and Henry were here. 8 of those players went on to play professionally off that 206 to 208 team. And to be honest, you would have thought with all that talent, we might have won a few more games and advanced a little further to the NCAA tournament. They'll tell you it was coaching, I'll tell you it wasn't. So, again, through the Wild Thumbles accolades, and this is a long list, so just relax. He was a 3-time All-Big South Conference selection, a 2-time All-South Region, was an NSCAA All-American, was a College Soccer News All-American, was Big South Preseason Player of the Year, Big South All-Tournament MVP, or Big South Tournament MVP, scored a hat trick and a win over Hot Plink in 206 in the 206 championship. In 280 was the Big South Conference Player of the Year. He led the Big South in scoring for 2 years. He was top 5 in the South Region in scoring, or twice Big South Conference All-Tournament team, 5 times Big South Player of the Week, twice named the College Soccer National Team of the Week, top juror National Team of the Week. In 280, he scored the goal law against Coastal to win his 2nd championship. He is the all-time scoring leader at Winthrop at the Division I level, and he's 6th all-time in Big South in the Big South Conference in scoring. He was named to the Herman Trophy list, which is the National Player of the Year, very similar to the Heisman in football. In fact, another side note, don't want to embarrass him, but we have Mike Jeffries, who Henry pointed out. He's the coach of the Charlotte Independents. He was actually the Herman Award winner when he played at Duke in 85, 86? Okay. So that's all. It's a friend I have here tonight. Daniel was invited to the NIS Combine in 208. He's also a member of the Big South All-Deputy team. He was a member of the Canadian U20 national team. He played professionally for Richmond Kickers in the Swedish second division. So it's my honor to introduce the next member of the Winthrop Athletics Hall of Fame, Daniel Revivo.
Oh, okay. Oh. All right. Henry said I have about 30 seconds left, so he's got all my time. You owe me. But yeah, good evening. It's an incredible honor to be here, standing in front of you tonight. Just want to, put me in front of thousands of fans, and I'm fine. Put me in front of a room to talk to people, and get shaken up. But yeah, I just want to express my deepest gratitude to the school, to Winthrop, to the athletics department, the Hall of Fame committee, the late Dr. DeGiorgio couldn't be here with us tonight, Tom Hickman, Gaff, Dan, Brett, everyone else who played a role in shaping my journey here. Too many to name, but they know who they are. Congrats to all the other inductees tonight. To be recognized among the other greats who have come through this athletic department, it's really humbling, and I'm truly grateful to be back here where so much of my life has taken shape. Soccer has been my life since I was 4. From the moment I first kicked the ball, the game became my passion. My purpose, ultimately, it was a force that shaped my entire life. It gave me the opportunity to travel the world, meet incredible people, create experiences that I'll cherish forever. But most importantly, soccer led me here, to Winthrop, a place that would change my life in ways that I never would have imagined. My journey to Winthrop started with Coach Dan Ridenauer. He traveled all the way up to Toronto, where I'm from. I watched me play in a tournament. It was a showcase tournament over the winter break, and field space is scarce during the winter, and so these games were kicking off at midnight, out in the cold and snow. He stood out there. I don't know what you saw, but I'm glad you came. A couple months later, I came down on my official visit, which we were talking earlier is now 20 years ago, this month. And Coach Dan took me around to tour campus, and coming from the winter in Canada, it was pleasant to be here in the sunshine. I was getting recruited by a lot of schools up in the Northeast, and it was a breath of fresh air to come into the sunshine. After a tour, drove through campus, went out to the farm and drove around the lake. Ended off at Eagle Field. Walked out to the field, looked up at the scoreboard, and it said, Winthrop Eagles would like to welcome forward Daniel Revivo. I'll never forget the feeling of seeing my name up on that board. I went on to visit some other schools, and it was coming down to the time to decide what I wanted to attend. I was in Arizona for a tournament, which ended up getting completely rained out, and so we were stuck there in the hotel. I got an email from Gaff, essentially just saying, hey, we need to know your decision or we're moving on. I sat there, went down to the hotel lobby, and called Gaff on a payphone. That's how long ago it seems like it was. It was a brief and short conversation. He picked up, Revivo, it's Gaffer. What's it going to be? I said, Gaff, I want to be an Eagle. Count me in. And he said, all right then, I expect a lot of goals. Click. The rest is history. I came in for one of the greatest recruiting classes in program history. We went on to win some titles and do some amazing things together. My time at Winthrop was filled with unforgettable moments, winning championships, scoring goals, sharing victories and some losses with teammates who went on to become like family. I was fortunate enough to receive some individual honors along the way, but none of that would have been possible without my teammates. All the people who made every game, every practice, and every battle worth it. Many of those teammates became my closest friends, some who made the trip to be here tonight. Cam, Tomo, Ben, thank you guys. They've been there for me and my family on many occasions, and I'll be thankful forever for you guys. All right, I have a quick story, not to throw Gaff on the bus again, but not many chances I get to do this. But it was junior year, season opener, actually at Radford. Luckily, we weren't playing Radford that year, that weekend, but we were opening up the season against USC Upstate. We were in the locker room getting ready to go out for warm-ups, and as I did every season, I pulled out a brand new pair of boots. For you non-soccer folk, that's our cleats, we call them boots. But I pulled out a new pair of shoes, as I do every season. And now when I played, I was known to be a little bit flashy. I always had to make sure I had my hair done, nice haircut, shaved, everything uniform pressed, socks pulled up high. But most importantly, I wore a very specific stylish shoe. And at this time, Nike started to come out with some wild colors. And the particular shoes that I pulled out for this season were bright neon green. There's some photos around in the Eagle Room, and I think I saw it up here before, and you can see the shoes. As I got kitted out and ready to head out for warm-up, Gaff stopped in his tracks, took one look at me, gave me his Gaff stare, and he just said, "Vivo, what are those?" And I left out the expletives. He said, "There's no chance you're wearing those out in the field." Old school coaches in soccer don't like colorful shoes. They're black leather shoes, but I like to be a little bit different. He said, "What are those?" And I kind of looked at him. I said, "Hey, Gaff, these are the goal-scoring boots. You'll see." And he said, "Vivo, if you score a hat trick in those today, I'll buy the whole team a pair." I said, "Deal." I don't know if you remember that game, Gaff. We went on to beat USC Upstate 5-0. And that day I scored 4 goals.
To this day,
To this day, Gaff still owes our entire team a pair of bright green neon shoes. Of course, it wasn't always easy. Leaving home at 17, adjusting to life in a new country, balancing the demands of being a student athlete was challenging. Our team was a mix of different cultures, different backgrounds. We found a way to unite and push others to be better. Through it all, the lessons I learned at Winthrop about excellence, determination, respect, humility, perseverance, ambition, it all became the foundation of who I am today. None of this would have been possible without the people who supported me along the way. To Gaff, thank you for always expecting the most out of me. Gaff had a belief in me, even when I may have not believed in myself, despite the color of my shoes. He let me be me, but he always demanded excellence. He pushed me to be the best version of myself. He didn't say much, but we had an understanding. Excellence was a standard. I'll never forget the moments when he'd look over at me and just didn't have to say much. He'd just say, "Any chance?" And this was during the games. That's all I needed to hear. I knew it was time to step up. Thanks for believing me, pushing me to be the best. Coach Dan, thank you for all the support over the years and for braving the cold that night in Toronto and starting me on the journey that brought me here tonight. To my beautiful wife, Ashley, and our 2 boys, Cruz and Luca. Cruz, who is currently sleeping. You're all my greatest achievements. I love you. Thank you for always, excuse me. Thank you for always supporting me. There's no me without you. Thank you, soccer. Without soccer, I would have never found Winthrop. And without Winthrop, I would never have the life I have today. With tonight's induction, I know I'll be remembered as a great athlete, but more importantly, I hope I'm remembered as someone who set the standard for what this program stands for and what its athletes can achieve. Soccer has given me everything, but Winthrop gave me the opportunity to become the person I am today, and for that, I'll always be grateful. Thank you.
Our dearest member of the Hall of Fame, Daniel Revivo.